Welcome to the podcast where mental health is at the core of what we focus on. We strive to develop people like you to maximize who you are and what you've been called to do by sharing tools and resources for better brain health. And now here's your host, Juan Garcia.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. For those of you tuning in for the first time, I would appreciate a subscription. Please hit subscribe and hit the bell so that you're notified every time we upload one of these episodes. And for those returning, thank you so much for your support. Don't forget that these episodes are brought to you by our online store. You'll see the link to the website on the description box below. And please feel free to support us however you can so that this message can continue to be brought to every platform that people prefer. We're not just on YouTube, we're also on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're on Google Play and Overcast and so many others. And so we want to make sure that we're bringing the mental health perspective as a good thing, something healthy, so that everyone can be open to seeking mental health whenever they feel that they need so. And so welcome to my office. This is my humble abode where we go deep into therapeutic methods and we hopefully change people's lives. This is what we do. Transformation happens right here. And so I wanted you to have a sneak peek as to where we are, what we do in terms of helping people. We've been talking about false beliefs and how impactful this is with so many people that actually come here. We talk about what it is that their thought process is being affected or challenged by, and a lot of it is false beliefs. And as you know, for those of you that have been following us, I wrote a book recently entitled I Said to Myself, False Beliefs That Won't Let Me Breathe. It is on every platform, paperback and also ebook. And so if you have not been able to pick that up, I recommend you do so. And in this holiday season, if you have someone in mind that you may want to gift, please consider our book, False Beliefs That Won't Let Me Breathe. It's going to help people understand what it's like to have positive self-talk, as well as identifying false beliefs and replacing them with truth. And so as we wrap up this series on false beliefs, we did have one more spot in what we've been talking about, elements, 5 elements that will help us change false beliefs as soon as we obviously identify that we do have false beliefs. Now, and this is why this topic is important, because there are many of us, including myself, which is why I wrote the book. The book that I wrote is based on false beliefs that I was living under. And the truth of the matter is that we don't realize that we are living based on false beliefs. We just live, we survive, we try to accomplish things on our own based on our experiences, and a lot of those experiences have led to some dysfunctional thinking, and the dysfunctional thinking has led us to false beliefs. Why? Because we all have a belief system, whether we believe in something true or believe in something that's skewed or false. We have a belief system. And so whatever we feed that belief system is what we are going to end up living out. And so that's why I thought it was important to not only write about it, but also do a whole series on it to help you identify if you have false beliefs and, again, replace them with truth. Now, we've been going through the different elements. We talked about starting with the belief, and we shared a graph that had to do with that. If you have not been able to catch the other episodes, I suggest and recommend highly that you do so before watching this one, so that everything can make sense. Otherwise, you're gonna have to play catch up and it's not gonna be quite clear. So you can go back to the episodes prior to this one rather, and catch up so that you understand how it kind of comes together in the different elements in the order in which we share them, which is important. We talked about identifying the belief. We talked about surrounding that belief with core beliefs. We also talked about how giving an emotion to those core beliefs is what actually gives it some type of meaning or life. And last episode, we talked about applying faith, which is not a religious faith. It's more of a conviction faith, something that we say we are going to believe this belief that we subscribe to. And so today, the fifth element that I want to talk about is the element of identity. Identity. And what that means is that when we have this belief and we go through the different elements to try to make up if this is truly something that we want to believe and to identify whether it's true or false, we apply our identity to it. In other words, if it's a false belief and that false belief has to do with us considering ourselves failure, or we constantly lie, and so we're liars, that's the identity that we now subscribe to. And so that affects how we walk around, how we deal with people, how we are in relationship with people, how we go about doing different tasks or responsibilities. We go about it with our identity, and our identity is usually something negative when it comes to a false belief. So if we lie a lot, or we've been called a liar, we're going to live our lives believing that we're liars, and we're always going to be insecure about how people view us and if they're believing us or not. In other words, we're going to question whether we're believable. We're going to question whether we're trustworthy. We're going to question if we feel that we are failures. We're going to question if we can do this, if we can actually accomplish this. I coach. I used to coach more in the past than I do now, but I did coach professionals in their businesses and athletes, professional athletes, and so forth. And one of the common denominators that I would find myself in is trying to help individuals in the professional setting, as far as business is concerned, to really buy into this idea that they are not failures. If you are a professional in something, you are actually onto something. You are on your way to something bigger and greater than yourself, but you have to believe that, because you can have all the talent in the world. You can be the best basketball player, football player, tennis player, soccer player. You can be the best small business owner with the greatest vision in the world. But if you don't believe it, chances are you're not going to be successful, because you're going to psych yourself out. You're going to put yourself in a box where you're not going to allow yourself to grow, to develop, and to really believe that these things that you're dreaming are actually possible. One of the challenges that I see in people is the transition from being in a spotlight or in a high performance setting to now transitioning out of that and being more low-key, behind the scenes. Nobody really knows what they're doing. And the issue mainly that I've seen there is because they may have the wrong motivation behind it, or they have a false belief, or a combination of both. And so identity is where you get to put what it is that you want to kind of label yourself as, and not allow other people to label you as to what they believe you are either not good at or actually really good at. Now, labels can be scary to people, but labels are labels, and they're some of them are accurate, some of them are not. But the bottom line is the faith that you apply to those labels, what you believe about yourself as it relates to identity. Now, if you want more information about this topic, you can send me an email. All of the information of all of our resources are in the description box below, because I think it's important that you look at it from a perspective of where you sit. If you've identified a false belief, I want to help you see what kind of identity you've applied to that false belief. I said in the beginning, in the first episode, that sometimes there is a sixth element, and just for the purpose of giving you this information, I guess is a bonus. The sixth potential element that you can add to how to identify a false belief and replace it with truth is this element of your nervous system. And what that means is that a lot of times these thoughts are not just regular thoughts and they kind of come in and out and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do, which affects your emotions, which affects your behavior. A lot of these thoughts are actual physical in nature, where it takes over your body. You have that paralysis type of approach, or you have this explosive type of approach where your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system is reactive and jacked up. As we've shared in other episodes, your amygdala gets hijacked and you respond, or you react in a way that you know it's not healthy. If that's the case, if you're in that extreme place, then you have to recognize it for what it is and realize that there are techniques that we can do to help you reset your nervous system so that you're not reactive all the time and you kind of have more control as to how these thoughts play a role in your body. So that if you have a physical response to your thought process, I can help you navigate best practices for your body to start to respond to you in a healthy way. I hope that this has been helpful to you. False beliefs are just that thing that kind of can really set you back in life. Relationally, career-wise, it can really set you back. When you realize that the motivation behind what you've been doing is actually based on something false, you feel tricked. You feel like you've been taken advantage of. And so I just want to help you identify if it is a false belief so that you can replace it with truth and get to that place where God created you to be successful, booming, this person that knows who they are, not because of what they do, but because of who created them. God created you with a purpose. He has a plan for you, and false beliefs get in the way of that. And so I challenge you to go through this process. Again, I have received requests for the form or the worksheet. If you do want this worksheet where you can work these things out and you can kind of go through every element, hit me up, let me know, send me a message, and I will gladly send you that information so you can start working these thought processes through so that your belief system is healthy. One last tip that I'll give you, and I'll just kind of throw it out there, and if you want more information, please reach out. And it is putting your thoughts in trial or at trial. In other words, putting your thoughts, picture a courtroom, your thoughts have to go through this trial where you have to provide evidence, sufficient evidence, not circumstantial, beyond a reasonable doubt, sufficient evidence that that thought is actually valid or true. And you have to substantiate it with other thought processes or maybe reference points to see if this thought is true. And then if it is true, then hey, it's a belief system. It's a belief that is part of your belief system that is accurate. But if there's not enough evidence, you have to dismiss the case against your thoughts, and those thoughts no longer have power in your life. So I'll leave it at that. Hopefully that helps you out. If it piqued your interest and you want more information, just let us know, reach out, and I will be glad to do so. Thank you so much for your support. Again, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment, share this information with others, and I will be glad to continue to bring more information, more resources as we move forward in this podcast. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next episode.
Thank you for tuning into our podcast. For more information, visit our website at juangarciaenterprises.com. Our host, Juan Garcia, is available for speaking, coaching, and one-on-one counseling. You can email us at info@juangarciaenterprises.com. Until next time, remember, we only have one mind, so mind yours.